How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nerdy Basement Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy. And joining me today is my co-host Miguel from Comics in the Basement and Power Ranger star Kate Bishop Hopeful, Liana Ramirez. Welcome to the Nerdy Basement.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Of
Thank you,
course.
thank you. It's our pleasure to have the interview going. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I know you've been doing a whole bunch of interviews with everybody since the campaign has been going on. But how are you
Yeah,
feeling? How are you feeling? How's that going for you?
it's going crazy. It's unreal. The amount of following and movement that this has gained is it's mind blowing, and I'm forever thankful. And I can't express how grateful I am to everybody that's been posting, tagging, and everything. It's definitely been keeping me busy, and it's phenomenal. I love it so much. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's picked up a lot of steam. I was made aware, I mean, at least me personally, I was made aware of your campaign like right after the confirmation of Kate Bishop coming to the MCU at San Diego Comic-Con. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that was going on before or that's when it
Yeah,
started.
actually, the campaign was going on actually like a month before the show was announced at Comic-Con, which was like perfect timing. We started gaining a lot of traction beforehand, and when the announcement happened, it blew up from there.
Did
Awesome.
you
That's
have
awesome.
anything to do with that movement, or was it just organic?
It was a little bit of both. So kind of what happened was I had watched Captain Marvel with my dad, and I was feeling like super inspired. I'm like, dang, Brie Larson, you're a female superhero, and I want to be you, dang it. And so I started looking online for like female superheroes in the MCU. They're like teenagers and something that I could potentially play. And my friend sent me Kate Bishop. I'm like, duh, yes, I could do that. And so I felt inspired the next day. I straightened my hair, I put a headband in, I found my purple sunglasses, and I took a selfie, kind of inspired by her. And I posted online, and then I put a side by side together and sent it back to my friend. He's like, dude, you have to post that. That's scary similar. And so I did. And then everyone was like, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Please make this happen. And so after 2 weeks of me posting that, the campaign started and I officially got on board announcing like, let's do this, guys. Let's actually go for it. So
That's
that's kind of how it
awesome.
started.
Have you have you heard anything back?
I actually can't say anything as of right now, but things are looking good as of right now, but I honestly can't say. So
Awesome. At least that's the step in the right direction. At
I
least.
mean, honestly, like even my team could possibly know in the business, but with all of Marvel's
Yeah.
indie stuff, like they might not even be telling me things straight.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
of course.
so secretive and crazy. So as of right now, they're just saying keep doing what you're doing, keep campaigning, and that's what we're gonna do.
Is kind of training up for a possible role the reason why you started archery, or is that just
I
coincidence?
I've actually have been I've done archery kind of all my life, just growing up for fun. Like my brother got into it when we were little and was like, "Hey sis, let's go shoot in the backyard." And so I've kind of had a little bit of experience, but ever since this started, yeah, I've been training intensely with some really awesome professionals in the business. Like I trained with a stunt guy who has worked on like Black Panther and stuff like that, and he's the most phenomenal archer I've ever met. And so he's taken me under his wing and like, dude, we're gonna push you super hard for this role. Let's train, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
Nice,
Nice. That's awesome.
nice.
I've seen some of your archery videos on Instagram, and I have a couple followers who send it to me all the time. And I'm like, yo, that's awesome. So that's why I share it sometimes on the stories, so like that people can know we're showing support for the campaign as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Now, since because you said you looked up Kate Bishop and then you kind of started to kind of gain like a passion for wanting to play her. Have you read any of her comic book material?
I pretty much own every single one. I'm waiting for my last few.
Wow.
Like as soon as it started, I bought everything I could find. I pretty much know every single every single storyline at this point, every
I
single
kind of
book,
see
and like
one. I see one in the background back
yeah,
there.
I
It's
have
right there
like
somewhere.
there's 4 of them behind me as of right now, and then I have a couple that I've left at my friends' houses because I'll just take them wherever I go. And yeah, I'm waiting on like my last few, and I'm on edge. I'm like, I have to know what happens. Please
Nice.
let me figure out what happens because yeah, I've known about the character for a while, but now that I've really dived into her, I can't get enough of her, and she's so special. I love her so much. She's great.
Nice. Yeah,
Awesome.
she is. She's definitely one of my favorites. Like I liked her in the West Coast Avengers run that just came out.
Yes.
And
Those are the
yeah, I
ones
mean,
waiting to get back. I've read a couple of them, but I became friends with a comic book store owner because of all of this, and he handed me a few of those just as a gift because I just kept coming back in for more and more and more. And I have like a few of them out of order, so that's one of the ones I'm waiting to get back so I can actually read it in order.
I got you. I got you. I
Nice.
think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. Her kind of badass, kind of quirky style, I think would mesh really well. Just with what I've seen about you.
Thank you. I feel like I could very much do her justice, especially with training and continuing to dive into her character and just practice. I mean, that's all it really takes. Practice makes perfect with anything, or at least close to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Practice makes perfect. But I mean, that's kind of sort of answering a question we had for you anyway, without necessarily us asking it. But what do you feel you can bring to the role of Kate Bishop and that will make it authentic to the character and what she stands for, what she is?
Absolutely. Well, I would say her and I are very similar and have gone through some similar things of she is an underdog in her story. I mean, she doesn't have any powers. All she has is a bow and arrow and her snarky remarks. And with a world of superheroes with people who have powers, it's similar to me in the sense of I'm just kind of starting in this business. I do have a lot of experience under my belt, but I'm not as well known as some stars who have millions and millions of followers and a ton of credits. I could
Yeah,
easily do what they're doing, but I'm just at a point where I have to really freaking work for it. And I have to really say, hey, guys, this is my dream. Hello, I can do it. Hey, but hi. And that's kind of what I'm doing. If we're both underdogs, and so me relating to her in that way makes us both incredibly human. And she is one of the most genuine human characters I've ever met. And a lot of her family problems are so relatable. And we've all had family problems. So I feel like combining all of that, being true and authentic to myself, and having her kind of shine through me, I think would be an amazing combination. I would just be as true as I possibly can be.
well, that's awesome. So you
Wow.
really she really
Wow.
relates to her on a
She
personal level.
she
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 relates to
sold
the
me. She sold me. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm gonna call Kevin in a few.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna call him
we're
after
gonna
he's done with his panel. We need to make this happen
we're gonna
stat.
hash this out. We're gonna
We're
hash
gonna,
this
we're gonna
out.
call Jeremy Renner too, since he's gonna be in the show. We
Hey,
can
I
train you as
mean,
well.
let's do it.
We gotta
I
make
mean,
this happen.
absolutely.
So
It's going to be one of those roller coaster experiences for sure if this actually happens.
oh,
Well, of
absolutely,
course, of course.
absolutely. So kind of speaking on like how you got started in like the actor world, like
hmm
where did this whole thing start for you?
So I was 11 years old when this whole dream kind of started for me. I would watch the girls on like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and see how much fun they were having, and go, I want to have that much fun, guys. Like I want to do that. That looks awesome. And so I begged my parents for 2 years to let me try this acting thing, and they're like, "Fine, okay. It's been 2 years. You haven't given up on this. Let's try an audition." So my mom was like, "Let's fly out to LA, do this audition, and see if this is something you actually really want to do." We go, and I actually end up booking my first audition ever. And they were like, "Okay, kid, we believe you now. Let's do this." And
Nice.
so after that point, a year later, my family moved to LA so I could pursue my dream. And then shortly after, my brother started acting as well. So it's kind of become a whole family thing. And yeah, we've been doing this for like 6 years now.
Well, that's
That's
awesome.
that
Family
really
support is
is.
where it's at. That's where
It
it starts. It really starts with the family support.
And a lot of people actually don't have that when coming out here. A lot of people are like, that's a lost cause or a dream that'll never happen. It's so hard. And like the odds of you actually making it. So the fact that I actually do have my family behind me, I can't tell you how blessed and thankful I am, because I wouldn't be here without them. And they keep me so grounded and so sane. And it's the best support system in the world.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That really is. That's so cool.
What you got?
It's really is cool.
We
No,
see you're
no.
having fun with the campaign as well, but I mean, that's also worked out in your favor because you obviously landed a role in Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which is going on right now, obviously. So, how did you kind of land that role, and when did you audition for it?
It was a year ago, a little over a year ago, when the auditions started. I would say April of 2018 was when the audition process started, and it was a 4-month process. And so I had about 5 or 6 in-person auditions, screen tests, and it was a lot of waiting and a lot of being on edge of what is my life going to be like? Am I going to move to New Zealand? Because that was a huge thing about this part in the show, is you would move to New Zealand. What? And so it was like just so much waiting. And then whenever I actually booked it, it was like my whole life is about to change, and it was
Yeah,
an exciting point in the world. And then we moved to New Zealand and started filming.
Nice. Now you didn't initially audition for Roxy, right?
No, yeah, I auditioned originally to be the Yellow Ranger, and they liked me a lot, so they kept bringing me back. And then they realized you would be a better fit for the evil Yellow Ranger. And I'm like, I'm down. I dig that. That's fun. Let's do it.
Now, how was that like for you going from wanting to play one of the good guys to then playing somebody who's, I mean, she's a bad guy, but she's not really a bad guy.
Right. It was honestly, at first, when I got the news that I didn't book the Yellow Ranger, it was rough. I had been focusing and striving for a goal for 4 months, and then was told, you didn't exactly get it, but we're not letting you go exactly. It's a no and a yes.
Right.
And so it was really hard to swallow at first, but then I'm like, okay, you know what? There's probably a reason for this second opportunity, so I should take it. And I'm forever thankful that I did, because I could have been like, you know what? Nah, you said no, whatever. And and then I went into the audition, and I realized in the room how much fun this character truly was. And I instantly fell in love with her, and I'm so thankful that they went in this direction, because it was the most fun I think I've ever had on set. It was
That's
great.
so
It
cool.
was so much fun.
So there is some truth to the being bad is more fun than being good.
So true.
definitely, definitely. I mean, it happened with Tom Hiddleston as well, so it's
Um,
pretty
he
true.
looked like he was having a blast, and he was phenomenal. So
And granted, he auditioned for Thor, not Loki, and that's
I actually didn't know that. That's
yeah,
amazing. So similar story. That's
it
really
is a similar
Yeah.
story. He auditioned for one role, didn't get it, but he got the other one, and now everybody loves him. And here
yeah,
you are.
perfect for it. So there you go. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
So going,
sometimes
go
so,
ahead,
so
Miguel.
sometimes it's almost better for us to not get what we want because it gives us an opportunity to try something different that we wouldn't necessarily have gone for,
Absolutely.
but it
Or,
Absolutely.
fits us. Yeah.
or there's just something better down the road. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
just the case. Have 90% of the time, there's just something better. And it
Yep.
this favorite was something better. It was the evil Yellow Ranger, but it was something better. You still got the chance to act, and you still got to be in the show you auditioned for. So it wasn't a total loss.
No,
But
absolutely. And it was like I said, it was such a blessing that it went this direction. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Nice.
so
So
going, go ahead, Miguel.
do you do your own stunts or like
I
how does
do
that work?
I do a lot of them. Something with actors is that usually, unless you're Tom Cruise, you don't ever get to do all of
Right.
your own stunts, just because it's kind of a liability for the show if you get hurt.
Mhm.
They need you every single day. And so I was really thankful to have done a lot of them on set, and that was a gift in itself, because stunts are literally my favorite thing in the world other than acting. Oh my gosh. The adrenaline rush that you get from it is unreal. Um, And so, yeah, I got to do a lot, and the other stuff that I didn't get to do, I'm kind of glad that I didn't because it would have been really hard.
Did you watch any of the because I know personally speaking, I grew up watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and
Mm,
Austin St. John and
yeah.
Kimberly Joe Johnson and Jason David Frank. Did you kind of go back and revisit any of the original material to kind of prepare
Oh yeah,
or
yeah. Whenever like growing up, I actually had never really watched it. It's kind of hard to avoid. So of course, I've seen a few episodes here and there.
right?
But whenever I did book it, I watched every single pilot episode of all the seasons. And then I honed in on some of my favorites, and I ended up liking RPM the best. That's my
RPM, RPM.
that's my personal favorite season, other than ours.
RP
I mean,
But
RPM was good. I'm not gonna lie. I liked RPM.
you know what it is? It's more nostalgic for me. You
yeah,
know, JDF, the original Green Ranger,
yeah,
then the White
yeah.
Ranger. But yeah, no, I mean to each their own. To each their
Yeah, I
own.
mean, everybody has a different favorite. Like
Yeah.
I just recently, I watched a little bit of Megaforce back when it was airing, and then just recently, well, my son, as I was mentioning, he's a big fan of Power Rangers now. We binged Ninja Steel season 1 and 2,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then I started showing him Beast Morphers, and he loves Beast Morphers as well.
Oh,
So
that's
he's a
so
huge. You should see. I need to recall and put on my Instagram one day. He pretends he's fighting in the living room, rolling around. He throws himself. It's hilarious. It's fun. He's only 4, but he loves
cute.
Power Rangers.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that's so cute.
It's kids, man. The kids love it. We grew up watching it as kids. I mean, we're all adults now. You're in the show. We
Mhm.
watch the show still as adults. So it's like it's just a nostalgic feeling. And I'm pretty sure my
Yeah,
son will grow up and still watch it with his kids, or even when
yeah,
he's older. Who really knows? But
absolutely,
um,
absolutely.
going back to Beast Morphers, what was it like being on set? What were some of your most memorable moments on set with your cast members? Like, how was
Oh
that all like for you? What was your overall experience?
overall experience was it was the best time of my life. It was like the best dream in the world. Our interactions on set with the cast and the crew were usually us goofing around and laughing hysterically, telling funny stories. And then when the camera started rolling, we'd get to work. And yeah, my favorite memories would have to be me and Colby Strong, who plays Blaze, the other evil ranger. It was just us walking around as if we were Beyonce and strutting around our little cyber dimension and being stupid. And those were some of my favorite moments in the world. And then the crew was just the most kind-hearted people in the world, and they really just took us under their wing and guided us through the whole experience, and we learned so much from them. It
That's
was
awesome. Did you guys take any props though? You got to keep your Ranger helmet, or?
We actually didn't get to keep that stuff. I was able to keep a couple of things. This was one of the sweetest things, though. One of our wardrobe ladies, she was one of the people who sketched out my costume to begin with.
Okay.
And I went into the wardrobe room one day for something, and I saw the sketch. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And she's like, do you want it? I'm like, I mean, that would be awesome, but it's yours. You don't know. And she's like, here. And I'm going, oh my gosh. So I have one of the original sketches of my costume. I'm going to get it framed here soon. And I'm like,
Oh,
that
that's
was the
awesome.
sweetest
That's really
gifts
cool.
from the set. And then Power Rangers Productions gave us this cast photo behind me as a gift whenever we finished both seasons. So it was
Nice.
really,
Also, there's 2 seasons of Beast Morphers.
yes,
Was it like
yes.
Super Beast Morphers? Just like the.
I actually don't know the name as of right now. That they actually haven't told us that yet.
Okay.
So
Do you know
as of
when it's
right now,
premiering?
see what that would be.
Do you know
No.
when the second season is premiering or no?
The actual date, not specifically, but it's going to be next year for sure.
Okay. Awesome. You
Yeah.
got any other questions, Miguel?
Yeah, yeah. So I, based on your YouTube channel and stuff, I was kind of a fan. So you got to tell me, what was it like when you first saw your action figure? When your friends first presented you with your action figure?
Oh man. It was one of those things where I had been so busy in my life where I just didn't have time to actually look at it, and I had been dying to see it and die. Like, I had an action figure, what? And I wasn't able to see it. It was such a weird feeling. And then when they presented it to me, I lost it. I mean, if you saw the video,
Yeah, I
that was
did.
actually seeing it. And it's the same one is actually behind me. And I'm like, this is so weird. This is so cool. So it was definitely like a fangirl moment for sure. And I still can't fathom that's me in a little box. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
It has to be such a surreal feeling to see yourself in as merchandise for
It's
for people to collect and play with.
yeah, it's bizarre. Like I still can't necessarily wrap my head around it. Like what? It's
It's all right. It comes with the territory. It's all about being a ranger.
Yeah,
So you gotta
and and
that's
remember.
so. That's so.
and speaking of being a ranger, like with social media being what it is, do you kind of see yourself as a role model? Do you kind of, I mean, not really censor yourself or watch what you do or what you say, but I mean, does it kind of make you, I don't know, stand above a little
Um.
bit?
Well, here's the thing. I actually love the idea of being a role model. A lot of celebrities out there in the business are just like, I'm gonna do my thing. I don't necessarily care who watches.
Right.
And for me personally, I feel like I was put on this earth to bring positivity and light to others. And so for me, actually being kind of an inspiration to positive living, I love that. And that's actually what I strive to do more than anything than act, than stunts, than whatever I decide to do in this entertainment business. It's just that's my vessel to be able to inspire and be a role model to others. So actually, yeah, that's what I want to do more than anything. And so I would say I do censor myself in the sense of I want to be putting out there an example.
Right.
And um yeah, that's what I want to do actually.
That's
So
That's
awesome.
you
really awesome. Like that makes like in my opinion that makes you a real life superhero. Like just the fact
thank
that you're able to not just able but the fact that you're able and that you want to kind of strive to be the best you can be for the next generation. That's I mean it doesn't get better than that.
thank you so much. And I think that's another reason why I want to actually have a superhero role is
Mhm.
because what better way to be that person than in an actual superhero role? People kind of pay attention a little bit more and it gives you an awesome platform to do that. And some people I think could absolutely do an amazing job at that. Like I think Chris Pratt is unbelievable and uses his voice for such good. And he's definitely an inspiration to me. And I'm like, you're killing it, man. You're killing
Yeah,
it.
he definitely does. He definitely does use his platform for good. A lot of the actors now, at least in terms of actors who do superhero movies, both for DC and for Marvel, tend
Right.
to kind of strive in that direction as well, where they want to, push the positivity.
Right.
Forget.
Right.
Let's push all the negativity aside. We're not just superheroes just because we're actors.
Right. Right.
We want to embody that. We want to take that and present it in human form other than just the other mediums, which are comic books, the films,
Yeah.
the TV
Yeah.
shows. That even goes back to Power Rangers as well, because at the end of the day, they
Yeah.
are superheroes as well. That's what I think the same themes lie within the Power Rangers universe, where they always strive and they try to teach
Right.
the kids to do good. You can rise above any obstacle you face in life. So that's good. I like that you do that.
Yeah, and like I was actually talking to a group of my friends here, who are also in the industry, and we all have like the same similar goal of just being different in the industry. And we were all talking like someone was saying like I feel like I need to be at a bigger point in my life to really be able to make a difference and do that. I'm like, no, we were all saying no, you can do it now. It doesn't matter if you have like 100 followers or no followers or thousands of followers. You can be a light for positivity no matter where you are. And I think that's a lesson that so many people out there should learn that it doesn't matter where you're at. You can do it at any point.
Exactly.
Wow. So you're an actor, you're a stunt person, but you're also a published writer.
About to be,
About
actually.
to be,
That,
about to
About
be.
to be.
yes. There's been some things saying, like, I published my book when I was like 19. I'm like, no, 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 it hasn't come out yet. I swear. I'm about to publish it. I have been writing a book of mine for about 11 years. Yeah. And it's officially like locked. At this point, me and my team are discussing publishing dates. I'm self-publishing. I'm not doing it through a publishing house. So it's all the marketing and advertisement and all that push is coming from my team and myself. So as of right now, we're just figuring out the final details of that plan. Like I'm about to freak out.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's it's called, The Secrets Within Me, right?
Yes, yes. So The Secrets of the Me is about a 17-year-old girl named Maggie Davis who has a huge secret. And everyone in her life knows her secret except for her. So she has to discover what her huge secret is before ancient Egyptian forces kill her and her entire family. Yikes. So it's a
Wow.
it's fantasy, magic, mythology, adventure. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Do you know when exactly it's being published so we can pick
As
up a
of
copy
right,
and read it?
it's going to be pretty soon. That is what I can say as of a specific date. I can't say at this point, but it's going to be really soon. So I'm really
Awesome,
excited.
awesome. Do you have another question, Miguel? Or no.
No, dude. I mean, oh,
I think he
so
has a
much,
couple. He has.
so much information.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of information. We have a couple more questions. Well, I'll just ask it. We
Yeah,
did
go
want to
for it.
ask. So, what is your favorite MCU movie and why?
Okay, first Iron Man. That movie is a masterpiece. Oh my gosh. I'm doing a whole rewatch of the whole MCU right now. And that movie just it's by far my favorite. It's so good. Robert Downey Jr. is phenomenal in that movie. And I think my favorite part about the whole thing is that yeah, you see him become Iron Man, but at the very end he's like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he can pretty much get his ass kicked in the last scene, and he's not really flying a whole lot, and he doesn't really know how to work his suit just yet. I think it's brilliant writing because of that.
Yeah,
It's
that movie's awesome. To me, that's my very first MCU film back when it came out in 2008.
I
So
think
yeah,
yeah,
I
I think
was
it's
really
mine too. Yeah.
I was what we're kind of showing our age here. I was like 17, going on 18 when that movie first came out. We're old around here. Well, not that old, but we've been
No,
around since
no,
day
no.
one. So yeah, that since that was the beginning of what we have now,
Oh,
it's just insane. Like that wasn't something I would have ever imagined when I went to the theater
oh,
and watched that movie. It's
yeah.
insane.
Well, I mean, to see what it kind of birthed into was definitely not something that I was expecting. You
Oh no.
know, you see all these kind of solo superhero movies, they kind of come out, maybe it's a trilogy, maybe it's not, but it's not interconnected. So that was the first one that kind of interconnected and kind of started this whole web of
Yeah.
movies.
And it
Yeah,
was just
it's what made the MCU the MCU at the end of the
yep.
day. If it wasn't for Iron Man, we wouldn't be talking about the MCU every week. Now would we, Miguel?
No,
Exactly. Uh,
definitely wouldn't have a podcast without the MCU.
Yeah, definitely.
right.
But do you have a favorite DC movie?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so hard. Um,
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a
there's
lot of good
a lot.
ones.
There's a lot of good ones. Forgive me. Does The Dark Knight count? That's DC,
Yes,
correct?
That's a DC
Okay,
movie.
then
yes.
Yes.
definitely. I was like, make sure that I have everything right. That's definitely my wow. Yeah, that movie is unbelievable.
I
It's
actually
so
just
good.
rewatched it the other night.
Heath
It's so
Ledger,
good.
man.
It's so
I
good.
know.
It's an
I
instant
know.
classic. But
Mm.
It's like
to
or
but
like on IMDb for best movies of all time too. I mean, what?
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
so good. It's so good. The way it was written, the portrayal from Heath Ledger as the Joker, the way the story paces. Yeah, it's a long movie, but the way it paces, the way
it
the
doesn't
story is
feel like a movie.
delivered,
Right.
yeah, it
It
Yeah,
doesn't
doesn't
feel like it.
drag.
it's like watching the Avengers. It's like 3 hours, but you're like, I'm just glued the whole time.
Exactly.
Oh,
I said on the podcast all the time, I'm like Avengers Endgame does not feel like 3 hours to me. I could have watched it for like six.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Which I
yeah.
mean, if you watch Infinity War and you watch Endgame back to back, it's
It's
six
about 6 hours.
hours.
Okay, I actually want to do that now. I just gave like I actually want to do that.
Well, you can do it now. You're on your MCU rewatch. So now all the movies came out.
That for like the end and like get everybody together. Like, hey friends, okay, movie night. We're doing this. Let's grab all the popcorn.
You know, if
23
you
films. That's a nice binge.
if you invite me, I'm there.
Cool.
We're all
Cool.
going to LA. We're gonna go watch the MCU
Marvel
marathon
movie.
with Liana. But basically, we're gonna end on this question since you have all the Kate Bishop comics, anything related to Hawkeye herself. What is your favorite Kate Bishop comic run?
That's so hard. I love them. Oh my god. Okay. I think so far, I think it's her standalone series, where she just moved to Venice, and she's trying to become a PI. Trying, is the key word there. I am really in love so far with the Fraction series. Um,
That's
but
my
as of right now,
favorite.
as of right now, I think the standalones are my favorite. But then again, I have a couple more left of the Fraction series that I need to read. So I'll get back to you on that whenever I'm done.
Definitely.
On the West Coast Avengers, I have to. I guess it's kind of tied in with her
Yeah,
standalone.
I mean she's I think in this new run she's like the leader of the West Coast Avengers. I know Hawkeye makes a couple appearances and stuff like that, but Whitey's Clint. I don't know if you
Clint.
still
So in the West Coast Avengers, Clint is a mainstay, and he's kind of like the parental figure
Yeah.
with the rest of the team. But they definitely have a very cool dynamic between the two because that's so Kate always feels like she's older than Clint. You know, Clint's always joking around and always, he always has some smart comment to say, and Kate kind of keeps everybody grounded. So I definitely think, see, that's one of my favorite. Um, I can't really call it a Kate Bishop run because it's not a Hawkeye run, but that's definitely
Okay.
one of my favorite stories that she's in. Um,
Ugh.
but yeah,
No, jeez.
but the
Ugh.
Matt,
definitely pick that
but
up.
the
Good.
Matt Fraction run though, the Matt Fraction run is awesome, and I would absolutely love to see that kind of transitioned into a Disney Plus TV show or maybe a movie. That'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping for West Coast Avengers myself since she's coming to the MCU now. But
Yeah.
I'll take either one,
I
honestly.
Maybe a
think
Young Avengers.
Maybe
something
Young
like that.
Avengers too.
Okay, the Young Avengers, I want that to happen for sure.
Right.
Um, what it would be really cool is to kind of combine like the storyline. I mean, they're pretty similar with the Fraction series and her standalone. Like the drama that happens in the Fraction series, but I really want to see her family drama in this show, especially in the Disney Plus show or whatever they continue to do, and then feel that into the Young Avengers, and then maybe eventually the West Coast Avengers. I feel
Yeah,
like that would.
hopefully that'll be a nice team up. Throw Shuri in there, as I keep saying, since she's young.
Yes.
But Ed, our other co-host has just walked in. You want to jump in and say hi real quick?
No, he did.
Hi.
This,
I can't hear anything. But
he can't hear
hi.
anything. We have headphones, but he's saying
Oh,
hello.
okay. But I say hi.
Was just about finished with the interview, so you missed most of it.
No,
So,
it's
sorry.
okay. It's okay.
You can listen back to it later.
I'm gonna edit this for you, so no worries. I got this.
But all right, Liana, thank you so much for the opportunity of the interview. We got a ton of information, a lot of insight, what you're doing, who you are as a person, as an actor. It was very fun talking to you. Hopefully we can talk. Hopefully you get the role. We can talk again down the line.
Where can people
Where
where can people
find
find
you?
you?
People can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Liana K Ramirez. I'm also on YouTube with just Liana Ramirez. And those are the best places to find me.
Awesome. And as I mentioned in our Instagram conversation, I'm going to call my son, but we're going to end the interview, then I'm going to call him so
Okay.
he can say hi to Power. He was excited. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in to this interview with Liana Ramirez. And so you can find her on Instagram and YouTube. You can catch her in Beast Morphers. Support her campaign for Kate Bishop and Disney Plus. We'll be supporting. Buy her book whenever that comes out. We'll drop a little info once that becomes public, so that you guys can know where to find it. But thank you so much, Liana, once again. Miguel, thank you for joining me as well. Ed, thank you in advance for editing the interview and the video.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
With the Nerdy Basement, literally everywhere. You guys know where we at. As always, we'll see you guys next time. Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy. I loved it. That was awesome.